Hello, my YouTube people. This is what I hope will be the first of many in a series talking about the subject of solar power. I don't know what part of Africa you live in, and I don't know what your electricity experience is where you live in Africa, but certainly here in Lagos, in Nigeria, the constant supply of reliable, good quality electricity that most people take for granted all over the world, for us here is rocket science. We still haven't figured it out. We don't know how to do it. So the situation we have down here is that we get, on average, I would say 4 to 6 hours, depending on where you live, if they like you, or 4 to 6 hours of power per day. In fact, sometimes it's almost like the electricity comes just to say hello to you, spends a few hours, and then goes. Sometimes we don't have power for weeks. You will know this if you live in Lagos, certainly if you live in Nigeria. As I speak to you, we haven't had electricity in Lagos for 5 days. I have a small battery bank with a DC inverter. Batteries are dead because there is no electricity from the grid. We call it NEPA or PHCN. There is no electricity to recharge the batteries. So after a couple of days, battery's dead. So right now, we're back to using generators. Now, I have a big diesel generator that carries everything. I have a smaller petrol generator. When you don't need the big one, you can run that. So it's almost like a backup to the big one. And then I have a tiny one, which is a backup to the backup. Several days ago, the big diesel generator was at the point of replacing it. And I thought to myself, what am I doing? Going to splash out all this money again on a big 30 kVA generator. Why? And there are many reasons people go solar. It may be because, of reasons to do with the cleaner planet, conservation, green energy, which is fantastic. Sometimes it's because where you live is so remote. So for geographic reasons, you can't get grid power to you. So you are off grid and you need to make your own arrangements. For some people, it's an economic as well as green imperative. So for England, they have feed-in tariffs. I think we have the same thing in South Africa, in America, and Canada, where you produce solar power, you use it, and anything you produce excess, you sell it back to the grid. For some people, I know in America, for them it's about independence. They just want to be, why should I be paying a power company to, their one is just independence, and that's fair enough, I understand that. And for some people, it's about disaster management, hurricanes and earthquakes and tsunamis and whatever. You don't have power for even in those cases, they don't have power. Maximum 2 months they have power. In Africa here, we are in a permanent tsunami hurricane situation. And, the grid supply, even the 4 to 6 hours a day, if you knew when it was going to be coming, you could maybe plan around it and use it and live your life. But you don't know when it's coming. All you know is it comes, it goes, that's it. Sometimes they give you power that the voltage is so low it is useless. Sometimes they give you power the voltage is high. Sometimes they come with spikes, which is why we need stabilizers. So even the grid power they're giving us is poor quality. So we don't have it. We can't tell when we're going to get it. When we get it, it's for a few hours. And even when we get it, it's poor quality, damaging our property. We have to buy stabilizers. And so you have to use a typical street in Lagos. You walk down the street, generators. If you can afford it, you have a big gen to carry everything, including your air conditioners. If you can't afford it, you buy a petrol gen. Then even, if you are of the low economic income group, there are some small generators that we have here. We call them, I better pass my neighbor. As in, I may be poor, but at least I have enough money to buy the small generator. Just, So it's, I mean, I laugh, but it's not funny. I've had enough. So at the point where the big diesel generator packed up completely and has been having problems for a while, we decided, right, it's time for us now to get a new one, a new unit. And why don't I explore alternative energy? Why don't I explore solar, wind? I see these things all over Europe. Even in my Lagos, I'm increasingly seeing lots of houses and little businesses solaring up. In fact, I told you I have an inverter. For the past, I would say 5 to 10 years, it's become so popular that people have deep cycle batteries with inverters as backup, or because it's, So we've had that kind of experience with batteries and stuff, but like the situation right now, if there's no grid supply and you don't have a big gen that can recharge those batteries adequately, you're stuck. So we're back at the moment to buying petrol, using the petrol generators, petrol, running it to petrol, Enough is enough. And, Lagos, Nigeria makes you an electrical engineer. You have to be your own power company, your own water treatment company. You have to be on your own security. You have to be your own, everything. We don't get anything from, so you have to be your own government. But even if our governments have failed us successively, all kinds of governments over the years, surely now, when a solar panel costs about 200 naira per watt, it used to cost 10 times that. Things have come down. Prices of solar panels have come down. The technology has come on. Deep cycle battery technology has come on. Inverter technology has come on. And these things are now at a point where I think you would be negligent not to consider it deeply. In the next few weeks, I am going to be completely solared up. Now, before I go on, in Lagos, I am sure there are really good installers and quality engineers. And if you live in Lagos, you will also know that there are lots of people who claim to be fantastic artisans or technicians who are not. So either way, it's good to do your research. So by going solar, which I'm going to do in a few weeks, what do I want to achieve? This is what I want to achieve. I want to achieve a constant supply of electricity. Yes, sit down, I'm serious. A constant supply of uninterruptible electricity in my home, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, come rain, come shine, 365 days a year, 366 days if it's a leap year, is not too much to ask. And this is what I'm looking to achieve by going solar. And I'm not going to go solar in a way that I still have to be running around like cat and mouse and, I have resolved we are not going to buy diesel, we're not going to buy petrol, we're not going to use generators. And even the grid supply, because of the poor quality, I'm going to try and minimize it as much as I can. So I'm going to be my own complete provider of electricity. And I'm going to do this 24 hours a day. And this electricity is going to power my own extended critical circuits. What I mean by that is your lights, your fans. We have a fridge freezer, family size fridge freezer. I'll power that 24 hours a day. We have a deep freezer, deep chest freezer, big one. I'll power that 24 hours a day. We have a water cooler, it will be there. I have 3 television, cable box, Xbox kind of sets. Well, 1 Xbox, but 3 TVs, 3 cable boxes in the house. I'm going to power them. Washing machine, I'm going to power it. And the microwave will be included. That's what I factored in. So in the microwave, washing machine, fridge freezer, deep freezer, water cooler, fans, lights, and all the little things like you're charging your phone and you're charging this. All these things is what I consider my critical circuit, because these things are things that I need with my family every single day to be comfortable. So that's my critical circuit. By extended critical circuit, what I mean by that is I have actually designed a system. I have decided to include water heaters to my setup. I know you have a water heater in your bathroom. That water heater is powered with grid power. You can have some, and the grid power is AC, alternating current, if you don't know what that means. That's grid power. There are now some DC water heaters. Even you can remove the elements of the AC, you remove the AC element, the heating element, and put in a DC heating element instead, if you like. And these things run off solar panels or batteries. So if I'm in a situation where I have lights, I have fans, I have TVs, I have fridge, freezer, I have deep freezer, I have water cooler, I have microwave, I have washing machine, and I have water heating 24 hours a day. The only thing left is air conditioning. And I have plans of solving that. But that's for another video. So this is what I am to achieve. I don't know what kind of home it is you live in, or what part of West Africa or Africa you're from. But if these problems and these aspirations strike a chord with you, then yes, this is what we're doing. It is going to be pure solar. Thank you very much for listening. Subscribe, like, and until the next video. Thank you.